All right, everybody, let's get started with our first alert weather at 6 o'clock. Here's a live look right now. Outside from Leominster this morning, you see the snow clearly came down, but also the snow plows came through. The pavement looks great. We thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Latoya Edwards.
And I'm Raul Martinez. Boy, we have seen a lot in just a few days, and there's a lot more coming, too. Our region is digging out of a Sunday night snowstorm. That surge of snow could lead to some icy conditions on the roads and the sidewalks.
Our team has been working throughout the night, tracking the areas that were most hit, most significantly by that snowfall. We have team coverage this morning, starting with our two experts in all of this, meteorologists Tevin Wooten and Deminis Brown. They are both standing by, but we'll get to Deminis here in the studio just in a bit. Tev, what are you working on, though, in Leominster? This is one of the areas that saw the most snow.
Yeah, Latoya, this is one of the areas that saw the most snow. Almost half a foot of snowfall here, really rushed in, cranked at about 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock last night. Taper off right around 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock this morning. We do have clearing skies, so ultimately that's going to allow that cold air to really seep in. Of course, the ground is coated. It is insulated right now with snow showers and some of that snow, that half a foot of snow that we saw. This is a mound, so the plow here in the parking lot has been pushing all the snow aside, and that is exactly what you should do. Get that snow out of the way, because we know the bitter blast of cold Arctic air is really just getting going, and we've got temperatures this morning in the teens and single digits in spots. I want to spin you around, Mark, and show you how this came through. We had about 2 waves of snow showers here in Leominster. The first shut off at about midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning, and then that second came in at about 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. And you can tell, of course, how the mounds have been pushed off towards the side, but this is that new snow, sort of that final push of snow that came in overnight and earlier this morning, and it's very, very light and fluffy, almost like glitter in the air. So if you're trying to make a snowball, you can't really form a snowball with this because there's not a lot of moisture in it. So kids, I know all of you are out of school today to celebrate MLK Day. That's the reason for the day off. But once you acknowledge and honor the day off, you can come out here and have a snowball fight. But you just have to add more water to the snow in order to get it to make that snowball, or even snowman, too, if you're trying to make one of those. Looking at First Alert Live radar right now, those conditions are starting to dry out. We do still have winter weather alerts posted until about 7 o'clock, so that's not going to be something that we see extended beyond 7 a.m. If you do happen to go out today, just keep in mind, especially for the folks in Lilac, even though you didn't get the heaviest snow, those winter weather advisories still indicate some slick conditions and winter weather conditions. But most of the snow is coming to a conclusion, and the winds are cranking. Every so often, we may get a gust here in Leominster at about 20 to 25 miles an hour. Because the air is so dry, it quite literally takes your breath away. So that's something else to keep in mind, too. If you were outdoors for prolonged periods of time today, you need to bundle up. You've got to layer up, kids. If you're going out to have a snowball fight, make a snowman, sledding, all that good stuff today, just keep in mind, you got to be coated up for sure. Several gloves on, several layers of pants on as well. Live in Leominster, I'm First Alert Meteorologist Tevin Wooten. Let's send things over now to First Alert Meteorologist Deminis Brown. Deminis, it is cold and getting colder quick.
Yeah, over the course of the day, even over the next couple of days, we're going to get even colder. And because of the snow on the ground and the temperatures, watch out for slippery roads as we go through today. Those snow-covered roads and bridges, temperatures remaining below freezing for much of the day. So let's just slow down and take your time out there. Temperatures in Boston at 20 degrees, and it feels like it's 4 degrees. We have that gusty northwest wind there. And you'll notice here, it feels like temperatures across much of the area in the single digits, even the teens. We're at 3 degrees in Bedford, 4 in Lawrence, 5 in Nashua, 1 below 0 there in Worcester. And so you'll notice because of these winds here, they're just gusting to 31 miles an hour in Boston, 21 in Plymouth, also 22 in Fitchburg and 21 in Worcester. So it's going to be a blustery day as we move through much of this Monday. You'll see the hourly forecast feeling like 7 degrees at 10 o'clock and how about 10 toward noon today. I am tracking, yes, colder weather for the next couple days. First alerts to give you a heads up. We're also tracking a warming trend by the weekend. The numbers in your First Alert 10-day forecast coming up.
Deminis, appreciate that. Let's turn our eyes to the roads right now.
Yeah, this is where you need to be careful. NBC 10's Lauren Melendez live in our Thunder truck this morning. All right, Lauren, where are you? What's it looking like out there?
All right, guys, our adventure is taking us along Route 2 in Acton. It's not terrible. I want to show you our tire cam because you don't really see a whole lot of snow being kicked up here. You really just see sort of the moisture from it. But when we give you a sort of a bird's eye view of on top of the actual truck, you can see the front of it. It's decent. Tevin mentioned earlier, you can see some of that asphalt. You know, this is not a bad area. I will say for my speed demons, when you're out looking at this road, take it slow because it can get very dicey quickly, because we went from this slick conditions to actually seeing some of that snow, some of that trudge. And my friends who know that they did not get their snow tires, you know what your tread is like. And when you try to switch those lanes, it can get a little tricky because you can start to feel your car shift a little bit and maybe even slide. So again, Route 2 in Acton here, we're traveling, I believe we're traveling west, and the roads are great. I will say, as we always do, take it slow because those conditions can change. I mean, the drop of a dime. It may be even a quarter mile where we start to see the visibility decrease a little bit, just more so on the roads. You could actually feel some of that snow underneath you. So again, we're kind of going all around the area, tracking everything so that if you do have to be out here potentially traveling to volunteer, you know exactly what to expect. I know my colleague Alicia is in Worcester too, though. I'm going to send it to her though, because she has a winter wonderland around her, quite different from what we're seeing on the roads. Alicia?
Yeah, Lauren, it's absolutely beautiful here in Worcester, but that doesn't mean that it's not dangerous on the roads. We were seeing some of the similar conditions that you were seeing as we drove this morning through southern Worcester County. You see the change from seeing wet pavement to kind of this slushy mess here, and that is very slick, especially when you're taking corners. Now, this is a main artery. We're here on Franklin Street near the corner of Main Street near City Hall. There is a winter parking ban in effect. You can see they're taking this seriously here in Worcester. That SUV has a ticket on it because they are still parked here. This is to allow the plows to really clear out the roads here to make it easier for people once they hit the roads. Luckily, as Tevin said, this is a holiday, so this is less traffic on the roads. You don't have kids going to school today, so we don't have to clear out for those school buses, so that helps as well. We expect fewer people out there for work this morning as well. The good news is those DPW crews are hard at work. We've seen them working on the sidewalk here. They've been clearing the sidewalk, putting the salt down to make it easier and safer for people to get around this morning. But if you don't have to head out, just wait a little bit to head out. You can go outside and enjoy once the kids wake up, or once you feel like going out for your morning coffee, just let the plows do their work so they can get some of this cleared up. That's the latest live here in Worcester. Now we're going to send things over to Minaj Kwangwari, who's live in Boston. What's it look like out there, Minaj?
Hey, Alicia, solid coating of snow here in Boston. No snow emergency was declared and no parking ban is in place. In fact, this area saw just shy of 4 inches. This gives you a little bit of a perspective, some solid snowball weather here. Now, it wasn't too bad. We believe that the snow started coming down steadily at around 8 p.m. last night. The city of Boston had to deploy more than 600 pieces of equipment to treat the roads. Still this morning, you're waking up and heading on the roads. It is a little bit slick. It's something that you do want to keep in mind. Now, today is MLK Day. Unfortunately, the snow has canceled one event. We know that the George Russell Jr. concert and Friends has to be rescheduled. The new date is going to be announced at a later date, and we, of course, will be keeping you updated on that as we take a look one more time at the Embrace Memorial here. But for right now, we're live here in Boston. Minaj Kwangwari, NBC 10 Boston.
The Embrace Boston Monument is something impressive to see at any weather condition. Stick with us for the latest weather updates on this storm and beyond. Scan the QR code on your screen to download our free news app. Set up push notifications on your phone to get the weather updates where you live.